everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. Opening week in the NFL is an exciting time for everybody, including these two teams here today. It's the Redskins going up against the Seahawks. What a surprise here. There's rain in Seattle as we're off to CenturyLink Field to link up with our broadcast team of Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, no trip to the Northwest is really complete without a little rain, and we're going to get plenty of it here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. Tonight, we wrap a busy first week of the season with a second of two on a Monday night between the Washington Redskins and the Seattle Seahawks. Rolls the lone man in the backfield. He's going to get the football. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And here's a look at the starting offense.
Double tight, guys. Double tight.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And here's the Redskin defense.
Ryan Kerrigan is an example of bringing the best of you from college to the NFL and remaking your game. Terrific guy causing fumbles at Purdue, has done the exact same thing in the NFL, then lost weight and became an absolute terror rushing the passer.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Off the play fake to Rawls. Wilson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
This is taken at about the 14. And now time will be called here as we've got an injured Redskin down on the field. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter 1 of the new year. We'll be back. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Let's go.
They'll run it with Olawale. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. When we sat with the coaching staff a couple of days ago, they said attacking that defensive look with a run, something they wanted to do, it was effective.
And they were extremely confident, weren't they? Their planning, their preparation, they knew what they were going to get in that defense, and they were able to attack it accordingly.
Now they try the right side here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Here we go now.
And he goes in motion here in the backfield. Now they'll look to throw it with Lynch. Dancing to his left. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. 2nd down following the run. And on the ground they go with a running back. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The wide receiver moving to a new spot. Now it's Lynch. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Jaron Reed drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. And Hopkins' kick is good. And it's 3-0 as the Redskins strike first. So not exactly jubilation over on that visiting sideline, but at least a high 5 or 2 for their kicker as he gets them the first points of the night here on the opening drive.
And 3 points are not to be underestimated. You're on the road, under the lights, national TV audience. You want to come out and look good, and that's a good start right there.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good, 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
On 2nd down, Rawls. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Brad, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
On 3rd down, Wilson. It's brought in by Doxson. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Following the penalty, it's Rawls. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. A fake to Rawls. Now it's Wilson finding time. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
You got to give some credit there. Able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
A nickelback added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Wilson surveying the field. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and it's 4th down.
Okay, let's hit the analytics side here. 3rd down, passing situation. You know most people are going to dial up some sort of pressure.
And they did, and they got to him while he was in the pocket.
In that situation, you know as a quarterback, they're coming. You've got to be able to stand in there firm and make a throw.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly...
And he lost the football. But the Redskins look to get this one back, and indeed they did. It's still Washington football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home, the next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now Lynch throwing left side here, and it's complete. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that.
The tackle was made by Michael Bennett. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. And a look at Seattle's defense.
Michael Bennett's one of the best pass-rushing defensive linemen in the game. Normally plays defensive end, but when they go to those nickel packages and he works inside, look out, offensive guards. You got a problem.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They come out here in the eye. They stay on the ground. Rolls again. Sheds a second man.
He's building up some momentum, isn't he?
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Now a play fake here. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. Throwing again here, Wilson. This will be caught just inside the 10. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It'll be a gain of 4. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on 3rd. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. This will be caught at about the 5. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
2 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. On 2nd down, Wilson. That's caught at the 2. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Defense may be thinking pass. They come out in the nickel on 3rd and goal. On the ground, rolls. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. What a stand so far defensively. And now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. They'll run for it. Rolls. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Thomas rolls, taking it in from a yard out. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This one taken from the 7. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
One of the toughest things for an offensive lineman to learn is the ability to get in space and hit people who are moving targets. And linebackers are not easy ones to hit because they know how to move, juke, and make you miss. And that's exactly what he did on that play. A nice play for the defense.
23 yards on the play.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Lynch looking to throw on 2nd. And he's going to be sacked back on his side of the field at the 44.
Well, when defensive coordinators game plan to put pressure on a quarterback, they often want to use blindside rushes, and that's exactly what they did there. The cornerback gets to him and drops him.
On 3rd down, Lynch. Blitz coming, and down he goes. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12. Now on 4th down, the 2014 NFL leader is a rookie in yards per punt. Tress Way on to kick it. Back deep for the Seahawks, the all-pro returner from 2015, Tyler Lockett. So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Over the middle, Amari Cooper, it's complete. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Off the play fake to Rawls. Wilson backing up. He sets to fire deep. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. On 3rd down, Wilson. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. And here come the Redskins now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On 2nd down, here's Lynch. And that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. Boy, you'd hate to squander this great field position. Here's 3rd and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Lynch with it on 3rd and goal. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit, taking over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Watch 36. 36 to Mike. Hey, alert. Lucky. Easy. Kill.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
To throw is Wilson. And got his man complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They They go play action here on first down. On the move to his left. And now he'll turn. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be marked down deep in Washington territory. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. So pass interference on the defense. And Charles, this is a penalty we see all the time.
The offenses know what they're doing. They know how to create great matchups. And defenders, if you're not there in time, they will throw the flag.
They come out here in the eye. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. So now it's first and goal. They'll try to run with Rawls. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Thomas Rawls in the final seconds of the first half. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And it's up. It's good. Our score 14-6. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final play of the half. It's Lynch. He's going to air one out. And this will be incomplete. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we send you across the country to Orlando. Standing by there, Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry? So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors. But overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to.
And he loses the football a second time. Only a couple there, and so he'll be brought down about the 28.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it, and somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
Over the middle, it's complete. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. And that's a gain of 6 on the first down run.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Lynch looking to throw on second. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Seahawks have picked it up. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. They'll come out in the pistol. 2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. 17 yards on the pickup there, and also a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. On 3rd and 1, Wilson. It's brought in by Doxson. The 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Drops it underneath for Rawls. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
One receiver to the left is Cooper. And the back goes into motion. Throwing again here. Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. Accelerating, and off he goes. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they force the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly.
Lynch fighting. He fumbles. He lost the football. And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. Halfback sent in motion. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. Throwing is Wilson. Deep drop. Over the middle, Cooper with it. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
We saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Going to Rawls on the dump off. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the balls make him make someone.
It's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And now a first down following that long gain. Now a toss. This is Rawls. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. On second down, here's Wilson. Out to the left, it's complete to Dyson. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. This will be caught at about the 5. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
First down and goal. The offense knocking on the door. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. No gain, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
2nd and goal from the 1. Again, it's Rawls. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Thomas Rawls with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Here's Hauschka for the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator.
And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowl cornerback, Richard Sherman. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Again, we'll see the pistol here. They'll try to get the running game going with Rawls. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They go again with Rawls. And a loose football. Rawls loses it. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. A look in Washington as they come onto the field. And last time, one play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Ten yards still left on second down.
Here we go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They come out here in the eye. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On second down, Lynch. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Let's go. Green, 39.
They'll throw on 1st down with Lynch. And he slings one that's incomplete. Second and 10. It's Lynch again. And he comes back with one complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when a screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over. But he ended up finding another receiver.
Flush to his right. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. 1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible. Partner, when it's a goal-to-go situation, if you're on the field on defense, you have to know that you may be called on to make a tackle at any time. Here, the cornerback does exactly that. Plays the run really well and makes a big play.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne and try to knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky. And that drop will cause a little bit of angst for the play caller because you know they've worked all week game planning and flexing the tight end out and making him a matchup issue for the defense. They had what they wanted, and he drops the ball.
Man, just couldn't hang on to the slam. All right, so you needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal then maybe not exactly what they wanted, but it's a necessary 1st step.
Still plenty of time remaining, but you could really use a stop defensively after the kickoff, preferably a 3-and-out.
Tyler Lockett now with a return. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, trying to atone for it here on this drive. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Well, this is going to sound a little strange, but that was a really nice effort because he broke a tackle and almost sprang free, but it still ended up with a loss of yardage. The defense won that battle.
Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. On 3rd down, Wilson. It's brought in by Dodson. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play. In motion comes the tight end left. Again, Rawls. He's been busy tonight. And he'll get across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Wilson going to give to Rawls. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Wilson, a give to Rawls. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They come up in an offset eye. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. They'll hand to Rawls. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Throwing now is Wilson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Oh, Wilson going to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week one. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Seahawks, it's a great win here on a Monday night as they'll start the new campaign 1-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.